What is going on, Nav Nation, and welcome to the 1 year anniversary of the PokéNav channel. So good to have all of you here. What a milestone. And to be honest, guys, I cannot believe it has been 1 year already. When I uploaded my first video to the channel 1 year ago today, I honestly never thought that I would be sitting here 1 year later talking to almost 10,000 members of the Nav Nation, and it just blows me away. We're gonna have some fun tonight, guys. We're gonna celebrate this occasion. We're going to answer some questions that you guys have. I'm gonna talk about my journey over this last year, some things that I've learned, just different things along the way, just kind of how it's progressed, what I've noticed, things that that I would go back and maybe change, things that I wouldn't, and things to look forward to moving forward. And then on top of that, we can't just have a live without something special. So we're gonna open up a couple packs of these as well. I actually have 4 packs here: Jet, Black Spirit, and Silver Lance. We're going to go ahead and open up 4 packs of these tonight as well. This is the newest set to release out of Japan. These will be included in our upcoming Chilling Reign, which will be coming out in June. But other than that, guys, I just want to thank all of you for being here and for your continued support over this last year. It really is just so incredible, and I can't thank you enough. So let's go ahead and welcome everybody in that is joining in thus far. We got Jody Matoma. What is going on, my friend? Hey, thank you so much for those kind words. Honestly, that I truly appreciate that. Basic Trainer, appreciate it as well, my friend. Young Ninja, Kyle Roberts, what is going on, man? I'm glad to have you on this journey. It's like I said before, guys, like if it wasn't for you, the channel wouldn't be where it's at. Like the growth that we've had is because you guys stick with me. You've stuck with me since the beginning, since back in the day when I was uploading videos, opening packs when I was going on hikes. You guys stuck with it the whole time, and just have appreciated the content all along. And in return, I truly appreciate all of you. Umbreon179, what is going on? Remo Paul joining in. What's up, buddy? We also got NV Shines. What is going on? Welcome in. So yeah, guys, that's basically what we're expecting to do here tonight. Is we're just gonna I'm gonna give you a little bit of the history on everything that's gone on over this last year, what led me up to the point of starting a YouTube channel, and basically everything up until now. And hopefully any of you out there that maybe are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or that have recently, or maybe you've had a YouTube channel for a while, maybe you find a little inspiration from it, because not that I'm any expert on any of this, still learning every single day, but maybe some of the mistakes that I made, or maybe some of the successes that I've had, will inspire you guys as well, whether you haven't started yet, or whether you're looking to pivot your channel. Maybe you'll find some inspiration there. I can only hope. Hey, Jake from Pallettown, what is going on, my friend? So good to have you here. Thank you so much for the congrats. Adrian Hero, Dennis Worley, Team Trubbish, what is going on, my friend? And what is so cool, guys, is that many of the people that come back again and again and again every single week, that either watch the videos or join in these live chats, have been there really since the beginning. Some of them the very first 100 subscribers on the channel, and continue to come back every single week. It's just it's truly a blessing. It's truly a pleasure to be able to see all those people that have been here the whole time, over a year. And as we grow, you look at other channels out there, you look at the big Pokemon channels, and some of the people that started in the very beginning with them. That's really what we're building here. We're building a community of like-minded people, and people that want to that are interested in the kind of stuff that we talk about: investing, collecting, creating a business around Pokemon. But we also have fun too. We do a lot of box openings, we break into cards. We've got the Pokemon Masterclass. That's been an awesome ride, being able to do that, connecting with so many really cool people within the community, and I just can't tell you how much I love doing those, and just bigger and better things to come. And it's so good to have all of you along for that ride. Who else we got coming in here? Jacob Garan, what is going on, my friend? Thank you so much for the kind words. Love the way you use value investing in Pokemon and correlation. One question: where do you see graded cards going in the future when grading opens up? I will certainly get to that, my friend. Don't worry, I will not forget that question. We will get to questions soon. Questions unrelated to YouTube and all of that stuff. We will definitely get to that a little later on. I promise you. Let's see here. Who else we got coming in? Steven Kassan. Yeah, we got some questions rolling in. And of course, Lindsay, the wonderful, beautiful, motherly Lindsay coming in here as always. And Indelible Makes, what is going on? All right, guys. So I know you guys got questions. We will certainly get to that. The questions are flying in here. But let's go ahead and start off here real quick. Right off from the beginning, I know a lot of people will probably want to see this, whether in the live or in the replay. Maybe just a little bit of a recap on my journey to this 1 year milestone. So as you guys know, I started with Pokemon all the way back in 2016, in January of 2016, and it was after I basically came across some booster boxes, some sealed products on eBay, and really reignited my passion for the hobby. At the time, I was a practicing financial advisor, and I saw a lot of potential with Pokemon as an alternative investment. So I started to dive deep down the rabbit hole, started to watch videos from people like Primetime Pokemon, Gem Mint Pokemon. I'm trying to think who else back then. Trying to think some of the content creators that were, I maybe a little bit of Leonhardt and some of those guys. I really didn't start getting into them until about 2018, which is funny, you know, that they really weren't as big back then as they are now. People like Leonhardt, Real Breaking Nate, even Unlisted Leaf. Really, it was the smaller guys that were really catching my interest. TCA Gaming, can't forget him. Just recently had him on the podcast, which was really, really awesome. And so basically fast forward 2016 to the beginning of 2020. Now, over the course of that time, I had been basically a little bit more, a little bit less into Pokemon, a little more into investing, a little more into collecting. It kind of went in ebbs and flows. And I always knew that I wanted to create a channel, especially as I started to see people like Leonhardt, Real Breaking Nate starting to grow and really starting to expand their community. It's something that I was always interested in, that I always wanted to do. But much like many people out there, I just hesitated. I said to myself, well, they're really, cool personalities. They've got a personality that is appealing to a wide variety of people. And I really didn't think that I had that same type of personality to sit down, open packs, keep someone's attention, for a 20-minute video. So I just kept putting it off, and I started thinking to myself, well, what would somebody want to see from me? What would they actually like to hear? And as I started to see as a fly goes right in my face, as I started to see other YouTubers like Twice Baked Jake, or even PokéNav. I started to see them come out in, I believe, around 2019, maybe 2020. As I started to see them more of this talk about investing and collecting, I said, well, maybe there is actually a platform for this, and maybe there's people out there that actually want to hear about this, and I certainly have something to say. As I've been doing it now for the last 5 years, I think that I might be able to help people and also bring in some of that financial perspective. So finally, after a lot of stewing and a lot of planning, I finally sat down and recorded my first video, which you guys can actually watch that. I linked it up down in the video description below. You can go back and watch that very first video, and it might not surprise you. It was about XY evolutions. I had been holding on to evolutions for years, since 2016, because I thought this is something that I think has a lot of potential. And so my first video was about XY evolutions, the potential that I thought it had, all of the different characteristics that I thought set it up to be a valuable long-term asset. And that was really the starting point. And it took a lot, honestly. I've never been one that is shy in front of other people or bashful, but it was definitely a little nerve-wracking to sit down in front of a camera and actually just talk to a camera, which was so foreign to me. It was the strangest thing, and I've gotten a little bit better at it now, but in the beginning, definitely, it was strange. It was strange just talking to a camera. And then started to think, okay, what other things do people want to potentially see? As the channel, after about a month, started to gain a little bit of traction. I think right at 1 month we hit 100 subscribers, which I thought was amazing. Like 100 people actually wanted to hear what I had to say. I thought that was just amazing. And then channel started to grow a little bit more, started doing more like little Q&As, kind of like what we do now, but it was like you guys would send in Q&As to me via email, and then I would answer those in a video. Started to include the episodes of, I think I called it, a wild Pokemon card appeared, something like that, something real corny, where I was basically going out on hikes in various places and opening up cards, which was a lot of fun, honestly. I really love doing that. Yeah, there's just so many opening channels out there that it was hard to gain any kind of traction in that. So kind of put those to the wayside. But then it was really at about like that about 3.5 month mark that the channel really started to take off. And I think a lot of that was due to bigger influencers starting to get into the hobby, the Logan Pauls, people like that, and channel really started to take off. And I believe it was about 4 months, almost exactly 4 months, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, that we hit 1,000 subscribers. And such a cool milestone, I think, for any YouTuber out there to hit 1,000 subscribers. Obviously, you get monetized. It's definitely nothing to write home about. I can tell you that right now. The monetization thing is definitely nothing to write home about. Maybe you can take your significant other out to a dinner a month on the ad revenue you get from your videos. So it was more or less just the fact that there was that many people that wanted to hear what I had to say, that liked watching the videos and appreciated the content, and were taking value in it. And that's really what meant the most to me. And then from that point, here we are now, approaching upon 10,000 subscribers, and I've learned a lot. Learned a lot along the way. I've had to learn a lot along the way. I knew nothing about any of this, any kind of technical setup, anything about lighting, which is still not that great, anything about cameras, anything about streaming, none of this stuff. I knew absolutely none of it. The website that we have now, like, I had very little experience with websites or putting together a website or doing a ton of selling online. So all of this stuff I had to learn. And what I'm so thankful for is that I've made so many connections. And if you guys watch my video from Tuesday, that was one of the big key things that I've learned, not just over this last year, but over the last 5 years of being in Pokemon, and really over the last 7 or 8 years of being in business, is connections are key. No matter who, or no matter what business undertaking you're going through, connections really are key. And along the way, there's so many kind people in this hobby that reached out to me, that were willing to offer service to me, no charge. They just wanted to do it out of the goodness of their heart, because they enjoyed the content, they enjoyed the channel, and they wanted to see it grow. And many of you right now that are in this live chat, I have to give credit to many of you out there. So many of you have reached out and said, "Hey Nav, anytime you need anything, just let me know. I'll be happy to help in any regard. I've got experience in this area or this area," and I've said sure. And I think that's what has been the driving factor in really achieving some level of success on the channel, is connecting with so many people and not being bashful and not being shy about reaching out to others. I mean, when I first started, I was reaching out to the big names in the community, and I wasn't hearing anything back in the beginning. But guess what? Now those same people are starting to come back. They're starting to be on the podcast. They're starting to reach out to me. and it's just such a full circle experience. So that's basically the journey in a nutshell, guys. And what I want to do before we move on here, I want to jump into a real quick opening. But what I want to jump into before we get into any questions, Pokemon market related, I want to ask you guys what questions you may have about YouTube, anything that maybe you've experienced, any hurdles, and any advice that I might be able to give that might help you guys out in your overall journey. So let's go ahead and jump into our first opening here, and then I'll let you guys start ringing in the questions. So here we go. We've got a Jet Black Spirit booster pack. Again, this is the newest Pokemon set to release from Japan. This Jet Black Spirit along with Silver Lance will combine to become our Chilling Rain set that will release in June. And I tell you, these Japanese packs are always such a bear to open. That one's not too bad. They really put the seal on them. So there's actually a lot of really great cards in this set. We're looking for, we got the Shadow Rider Calyrex that would be really cool. I think it's one from the back if I'm not mistaken. All right, let's see what we can do here. And like I said, with it being in Japanese, I know that is a Rapid Strike card. It's definitely some type of energy. But if I don't know the names of all the Pokemon, I apologize. I believe this is Kecleon. That's Rapid Strike. Oh, forget the name of this guy. And there's only 5 cards in these packs as well. All right, here we go. Coming up on the last card here. Oh, and it is... yeah, I'm going to forget his name. It's kind of cool, though. It's kind of an all-over holo. Pretty interesting. And just in case you guys are interested in these particular packs, I do have these on the website as well. You can buy, they're available in individual booster packs. Believe I've got them up for $3.49 each if you guys are interested. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad of a way to start. I'm hoping for maybe a secret rare, maybe a holo at the very least. All right, so let's jump into some questions here. See what you guys got coming in. Team Trubbish, don't downplay those outdoor pack breaks. I'll tell you, man, those were a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing those, and maybe at some point I will bring them back, especially now that things are starting to go back to normal. It'll be good to get back out and do more of those. But I've actually got bigger plans than that, honestly. You guys might have heard about my Nav cross-country pack opening or booster box opening. That's really the ultimate goal, would be able to go to various cities and do a big box opening at one of the card stores, maybe the most well-known card store in that particular city. That's the ultimate goal. Umbreon179, how do you become a Pokemon YouTuber? Honestly, it's I never thought that I would be a YouTuber in general, more specifically a Pokemon YouTuber. It's just honestly... it's something that you take a leap on, really. Yeah, I just took a leap on it. A lot of it was spurred by, if you guys don't know, my brother was in a horrible accident in January of 2020. Almost lost his life, and still recovering to this day, doing much better, but still recovering. And it was really after that it encouraged me to make that leap onto YouTube. And the reason being is that it made me realize how fickle and fleeting life can be. And these things that we think that, oh, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll start it tomorrow. You never know, guys. You never know. And this isn't to be morbid or macabre, but you never know when your last day is going to be. And you don't know how much time you have to do these things that you've always wanted to do. And so that's what made me take the leap. And that's what I would encourage any of you out there. I know a lot of people say that, chase your dreams, but why not? What does it hurt? That's what I said. Hey, I'll give it a shot. I'll do it for a year. And if I don't like it, or if the channel doesn't grow, or if I'm not having fun with it, then I'll just chalk it up as an experience. And that's what I did. So it's really no harm, no foul. It's one of those things that if you enjoy Pokemon, you enjoy providing some type of content around Pokemon, or it's something that you're doing that you think others would enjoy, why not do it? Why not, let other people in on that experience? Hey, it's Bondo. I appreciate that, my friend. Cardboard Empires, welcome in, my friend. DiCapello, what's going on? It's Bondo. How do you manage your production schedule? Filming is the easy part, but not always motivated to edit. Yet editing is by far and away the most tedious aspect. Now, for me, I mean, my videos, they really haven't changed a whole lot since the beginning. Maybe the editing has gotten a little bit better, but for my particular niche, and you'll see this with guys like Twice Baked Jake as well, the editing, you really don't need a whole lot of editing in your videos. Maybe you'll throw up some cards or products that you're talking about. Maybe you'll throw up, maybe like Z does, with some facts, figures, maybe some tables, graphs, Excel spreadsheets, things like that. But for us, in this sort of Pokemon finance niche, there's really not a whole lot of editing that goes into it. I mean, doesn't mean that it doesn't take a good amount of time to edit a video. On any given video that I'm editing, that I put together, typically those investing videos that come out on the beginning of the week, and a full edit on those takes me probably an hour to put together. So it's not like it doesn't take time, even if it's not a ton of editing. But the way that I try to schedule things is you should probably, in my opinion, have your time management. So if you're working a job and you're doing this as a hobby, as most of us are, then understand what that looks like. And a lot of the time it's going to be done in the evenings, after you're done with your job, after you get home, all those different things. So understand what days you're going to upload, and then look at how long it takes you to film, to edit, all of those different things, so that you know how far in advance you need to plan that out. Now for me, I typically, most of the time, will, like for instance, videos that come out at the beginning of the week, those investing videos, those are typically recorded on usually around Thursday. Usually record those on Thursday, usually edit them on Friday. They'll go up on Monday or Tuesday. They've been doing Tuesday, but I've now kind of switched over back to Mondays. Then usually the next video of the week will be a masterclass episode. Guess what? Those really don't require a whole lot of editing. Streamlabs basically takes care of everything for me, so I can just record the episode, upload it right to YouTube. Not a whole lot of editing there. And then if I'm putting out another video that week, I'll usually try to give myself that same kind of 2-day advance. So if I'm uploading it on Friday, then maybe I'll record on Wednesday, edit on Thursday, video goes up on Friday. And honestly, guys, if you're able to put out 2-3 videos a week, especially if you're just starting out, that's a lot of content. It really is. The other content creators out there that you see, the Leonharts, the Real Breaking Nades, Unlisted Leafs, they do this for a full-time job. So they've got a much more time allocated to this because it is their job, right? So it's not something that they're doing as a hobby. Now, they did in the very beginning. You can go back and you can hear the stories for many of those content creators, and it can be a grind. It can be a grind, but if you love it, if you're passionate about it, it's a good grind. Like I never feel like I'm burdened by making a video, honestly. The only thing that sometimes can get a little bit frustrating is that I maybe don't know what kind of content I'm going to put out that week, because maybe the rest of the week it kind of catches up on you, and then before you know it, it's Thursday, Friday, and it's like, okay, like I need to make sure that I'm putting out a video for next week, for early next week. So now you've got to come up with ideas. So it is a constant game of coming up with new ideas, coming up with things that people want to see, that keeps them enticed, that keeps them interested, and also of value. You want to make sure that you're never sacrificing value. And what I've done, I've cut down on my videos. I try to get out 3 videos a week, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get out 4 videos, sometimes I get out 2. But I never really want to sacrifice value just for the quantity. And I think that's important. All right, let's see. Jake from Palatown needs some of the new Celebies. Me too, man. Cardboard Empires, yeah, I'd love to stop in Wisconsin. That's I tell you, man, that would be such an awesome experience, and that would be my ultimate goal, would be to do something like that, like a once a month thing, different city. Family's growing, so I don't know how much my wife would appreciate that, but that would be fun, just to be able to connect. That's what I really want to do. I want to be able to connect with all of you in person, in these cities, you know, be able to shake your hand and tell you thank you for your support. Like, that's what it all means to me. All right, let's see. Basic Trainer, how many more new PokeTubers can the hobby absorb? You know, I think what it boils down to is, I think it can absorb as many that are willing to put in, that are willing to carve out a niche for themselves, to carve out something that is different. And that doesn't mean that you can't follow somewhat in the footsteps of those that came before you. That means you can't talk about investing, you can't talk about finance, you can't be a pack opening channel. Or maybe it's something completely unrelated to the cards. Maybe it's the video games. But just trying to find that niche, that little pocket that you fit into that no one else has filled yet. That's really, I think, where the future is going. And that's what people want to see. They want to see something different. They don't want to see just another person opening up cards in front of them. I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe it's the personality of the person that they're watching that really keeps them coming back. But I think what it is you have to find that niche. You have to find that area that, like I said, hasn't been filled yet. And the people that do that, I think, will be fine. The people that don't do that and just try to imitate others, then I think they'll unfortunately fall by the wayside. But that's really just it in general. It's not just Pokemon. When you get onto platforms like this, you have to be able to do that. You can look across all industries. You can look across business. You can look across fitness. You can look across, I don't know, cooking. All these different things. You have to be able to find your spot. All right, let's see. I'll get to a couple more questions here from people before I start diving into market questions. What do you plan to accomplish in another year? So yeah, like for this upcoming year, continuing to grow the community. That's really the main thing. Being able to grow the community, be able to share these experiences with more people that appreciate the content, that find value from it. That's the main thing. How do we do that, right? How do you continue to grow? Well, I think you stick to the things that you're good at. So you guys have always appreciated the investing talk. You guys have always appreciated the financial aspects that I bring to this hobby. So that won't stop. That'll continue. The masterclass, the Pokemon masterclass. I mean, eventually I would love to be able to do those in person as well. Don't know if that's going to be feasible. But as the channel grows, as it becomes more popular, Phoenix is a big metropolitan area. I think we're the fifth largest city in the nation right now, probably soon to become the fourth with as many people that are moving here, especially from the west of us. But it would be great to, with this being kind of a big hub, be able to have people come in and have those conversations live, people from the community. Don't know, as I said, if that would be possible, but the podcast will continue because I absolutely love doing that. You guys love hearing that, and I love providing that diverse perspective. Beyond that, we're gonna do more box openings. I've absolutely loved doing those box openings, and we have pulled some absolute fire from our last couple box openings. So continuing to do that. Beyond that, outside of, I shouldn't say outside of YouTube, continuing with YouTube, again, trying to do more stuff in person, maybe more collaborations with other YouTubers out there, bringing them on for different content, myself getting involved in more content. But yeah, outside of that, getting out in person, getting out to conventions, getting out to tournaments, going and meeting all of you guys, meeting the community at large, the larger Pokemon community. That's definitely on my list. As I said, now that we're going back to somewhat of a sense of normalcy, that would be, right there at the top of my list. And then, outside of that, from the business aspect, really expanding the business, the online store. I actually have something that is in the works right now that if I can get it, which it looks like it will, but if I can get this accomplished, guys, I think this is going to be so huge for so many people out there. And it's in relation to being able to get products at wholesale price. You guys heard me. I'm not going to give too much information on that, but I will just leave it at that. I want to be able to help out more people out there. I want you guys to be able to get your hands on products at a more affordable price rather than just market price, because, to be honest with you, we have to, as third-party dealers, the market price is the market price, and sometimes it is what it is. So I want to try to be able to help more people in getting more affordable products. So that is something that I'm working on right now to try to help as many people as I possibly can. And so really expanding that, working that out, that is the other goal there. And that's the thing that I want to mention here, guys, whether it's YouTube or any type of business, I think you should always try to expand your realm. Like in the beginning, I really thought that YouTube was going to be it. Like I was just going to do YouTube. I would do, maybe my little bit of flipping and a little bit of investing on the side, as I was doing for the last 5 years, 4.5 years. And I never would have expected that it really had grown into what it has now, the podcast and all of these different things. Those are things that I always wanted to do, but I didn't know that it would actually grow to that. So you can never limit yourself. When opportunities come along, just take them and run with them. And that's really what I've done this whole time. So that's kind of the whole outlook for the channel and kind of the whole PokéNav umbrella. The other thing that I will mention here that is also in the works is, you guys can see these posters here behind me. Now these are all done by an amazing artist that I found actually on Etsy. Yeah, you guys can laugh at me if you'd like to, but I found this artist on Etsy. And right now I am actually working with this particular artist for a line of merchandise: shirts, hoodies, hats, all of these different things. And this isn't just going to be, a PokéNav logo slapped onto a t-shirt. This is going to be a line of merchandise that anybody can wear, whether they watch my channel or not. If they're somewhat interested in Pokemon, these are going to be fashionable pieces that you guys would really appreciate. I mean, this guy is an amazing artist. I mean, as you can see by the posters behind me, and he's putting together a line of products, and I'm hoping to get that out probably within the next couple months. So really expanding that aspect of it as well, which also, when we hit 10,000 subscribers, that also helps me, because I can also introduce those products as part of Teespring and be able to sell those on the channel so that you guys can see those. So again, hitting 10,000 subscribers is a big milestone in many ways. It really frees up more opportunities as a content creator that YouTube offers to you. So yeah, those are some things to look out for, man. And I tell you, it's a never-ending process. Like, my mind is just always going of new ideas and thinking of new things that I can do, things that I can add to really make this just a great, not just a great channel, but a great brand. Something that you like, whether you watch my videos or not, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard of PokéNav. Yeah, he's got a good website. He's got cool products, or something to that nature. And that's really what I want. Like, I want this to be a very holistic brand that the Pokemon community as a whole is very proud of. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. All right, let's see. I think first off, actually, we got to open a pack. We got to go ahead and open a pack here, guys, and then I will jump into some more questions, and we'll start jumping into some market-related questions as well, because I know you guys want to get into that. So let's go ahead here. We've got Silver Lance up here, and I've learned my lesson with these Japanese packs. Open them from the bottom. They, you know, it says not for resale outside of Japan, and maybe that's why they make the packs so difficult to open. Is because they don't want it. They don't want us to open it. Oh man! Don't tell me I'm gonna have to use the teeth on this. I don't know how other people make it look so easy. All right. Sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes you just got to use the teeth. No shame in the teeth game. All right, here we go. One from the back. All right, guys. Let's see what we can get. There is a single strike. Oh, Teddy Ursa. All right, here we go. Big money. Big money. Let's get some fire. Oh, there it is. Shadow Rider Calyrex, I believe. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Very cool. Yeah, and what's interesting about these Silver Lance and Jet Black Spirit packs is that there is not a guaranteed holo in every pack like in other Japanese sets. So look at that HP, 320 HP. It's just getting out of hand. Very cool, very cool. All right, so let's go ahead and start jumping into some more questions here. Adrian's got a good question here. How do you balance a Pokemon business, a marriage, and other ventures? Interested in your insight. I'm married, have a baby on the way, run a big Pokemon eBay store, and work for a tech startup. I think in the end, man, what it all boils down to is time management, understanding how much time you have allocated towards all of these different things. And for me, I never sacrifice any kind of business venture or anything else for my family. Family is always going to come first. So I'm going to allocate the time that I need to them first and foremost, and then everything else kind of falls into place. And honestly, you know, doing things nowadays, it's so much easier in my opinion. I mean, I work full time as well, but doing these type of businesses is really great because it's all online. Like, you know, versus back in the day where you had to go into a brick and mortar location in order to do this. Now I can run a store, I can create content, I can do all of this stuff from the comfort of my home. And so it makes it so much easier. And I've said this before to many people in that this is the absolute best time to create a business, bar none. Like, if there was ever a time to be a small business owner or an entrepreneur, now is the time, because it's really never been easier. And I honestly think that it's going to be essential moving on into the future, because I think after the pandemic, you're going to see a lot of jobs that were quote unquote safe are just not going to be there anymore. And I think it's going to be essential for people to have a side hustle, side business, entrepreneurial endeavors. I think it's going to be just part of life. Even if you maintain your 9 to 5, I think having that side hustle is really, really important. So time management skills, you know, that's the first thing that you have to do, is understand how much time you have and then allocate that accordingly. You guys know, it's the same thing doing a portfolio, whether it's Pokemon investments, it's all about allocation and understanding how much of that pie gets taken up by all of these different pieces. So that would be my advice there. PokéLance, yes, to my knowledge as well. In fact, I've seen the signs in both Walmart and Target. Looks like they're going to stop selling Pokemon. You know, I was just talking to Rocky about this the other day, and to me, it makes sense for them, because here's the thing. For those type of stores, for them to meet their bottom line, they're going to need to sell a lot of products. They're going to need to push a lot of products. So if you've got scalpers coming in, you know, taking everything off the shelf, if you got people stealing products, what I think is what really put them over the edge, is people stealing products, you're losing out on that. You're losing out on your bottom line. And with the shortages, I don't think they were getting nearly the amount of product that they required in order to meet that bottom line. And so I don't think it's going to be permanent. I think when things do start to go back to some level of normalcy, you'll see Pokemon cards, other trading card games start to come back into the big box stores. But for now, I think they're basically cutting their losses and just mitigating some of the nefarious activity that's going on in their stores. But yeah, I don't see it lasting forever. Once things do go back to normal, you'll see them back in there. All right, let's see. Glenn's Gaming, what's going on, my friend? Jafet Vasquez, have you had any experience in selling on TCG Player or Troll and Toad? Yeah, I have some products listed on TCG Player right now, actually. In fact, it's the Battle Styles Elite Trainer boxes. After the first run or so of those Elite Trainer boxes, they just really died out, and so I listed them on TCG Player. Sold a few on there. It's really not bad, honestly. They're gonna, TCG Player is gonna take a cut of that, but it does give you a little more exposure to a wider audience. I've never had experience with Troll and Toad myself, other than just purchasing products. I've also purchased products off of TCG Player as well. But as far as selling, they really make it easy to set things up, set up an account. They keep you updated. You can also track your analytics on there, how you're doing. You can compare it to other sellers on TCG Player. So I think overall it's been good. Like I said, not a ton of experience, but all in all, it's been good. And like I said, it can give you a little more exposure if you're just selling on maybe your own website like I am, or if you're also on eBay. Just another tool in your tool belt. What is your top 3 favorite 3rd gen Pokemon? Ooh, top 3 favorite 3rd gen Pokemon. Right off the top of my head, I would have to say Kyogre, Groudon. I really like Absol as well. That'd probably be it. Kyogre, Groudon, and Absol, right off the top of my head. Cardboard Empires, will Chilling Reign be hot, or are people going to move right on to the Eevees? Well, I mean, Eevee Heroes is coming out later this month, so it'll come out before Chilling Reign. I'll tell you right now. So you guys know I've got a resource in Japan guy that I have been buying products from. These Silver Lance and Jet Black Spirit packs, got them from him. It's gonna be really, really tough to get Eevee Heroes. I can just tell you that right now. So I don't know how available it's even going to be, even if people wanted to get it. It's already difficult. And you probably know Cardboard Empires. It's very difficult to get products from Japan. You really have to have somebody there that you trust, somebody that you know, to get products from there, especially a set like Eevee Heroes that is going to be massively popular. You very well could be the most popular set of the year, depending on what they do for the 25th anniversary. But so yeah, I think that Chilling Reign is going to be more accessible. Talking to Rocky, it's going to be highly allocated. He only received 5% of what he has ordered or what he was wanting to get for Chilling Reign. So, and he's been working with the same distributors. He's been working with the same chains of command for 5+ years. So that goes to tell you just how tough Chilling Reign is going to be. So I think honestly it's going to be whatever you can get your hands on. I think people are really going to like Chilling Reign. I think the cards in Chilling Reign are also great. I think as an overall set, I really like it thus far. Like what I'm seeing for Chilling Reign, but I really like what I'm seeing with Eevee Heroes, and it's just a matter of who's going to be able to get their hands on it, because I think it's going to be so scarce. So overall, both are going to be really popular. I think if people had the choice between Eevee Heroes and Chilling Reign, I think they would go with Eevee Heroes any day, but they may not have a choice in this matter. All right, let's see. Bradley Bryan, what's your thoughts on the retrace of Evolution's booster boxes? Honestly, doesn't really surprise me a whole lot. We see this all the time, guys. I mean, like I've said before, we see ebbs and flows in the market. Did I think that, and I actually said it, when Evolutions hit $1,000 a booster box, I said, I don't think that it's going to last like this forever. Now, I did also make the comment that I thought that it could very well hit $2,000 by the end of the year, which I think is still very much a possibility. Just because we're having a retrace doesn't mean that the set is always, or that particular product is always going to sit at that price. I think by the time we start, we've seen retraces. This is another, I just want to get this point. We've seen retraces across a lot of the Pokemon card market. And, you know, I've talked about that ad nauseum in various videos as to why I think that is. But now as we start to get into the third quarter of the year, I think that we will start to see a lot of this turn around. Why? Well, that's a big time of the year for retail. Third quarter, fourth quarter, biggest times of the year. Pokemon, guess what? That's going to be the 25th anniversary of the TCG coming up in October. They're going to want to make sure that they're getting product out there. And on top of that, as far as content creation standpoint, that is also some of the biggest times of the year, is that third and fourth quarter of the year. So more people, I think, are going to have eyes on Pokemon. I think that more content creators are going to be putting content out to a more vast audience. So I think you're going to see it start to rebound, in my opinion. I think you're going to start to see it rebound. And I wouldn't be surprised if Evolutions hit $2,000 a booster box. I also wouldn't be surprised if it dropped back down to $200, $250, $300 a booster box. I wouldn't be surprised on that either. Graded cards. You can talk to, well, I've talked to James, aka Z from Z&G Emporium, back when Graded Gem was at full steam. I asked him, what cards do you see most often? Hidden Fates and Evolutions. Those were the sets everybody was sitting in to have graded. So it's no surprise that the prices on those have retraced, because populations of those cards have just been it's been inundated onto the market, and maybe there's just not the demand to pick up the supply of those cards. But guess what? As the hobby grows, it starts to absorb more of that supply. So again, guys, this is markets. This is markets in general. This is how things go. It doesn't matter if it's Pokemon, real estate, financial markets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Doesn't matter. This is how markets operate. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Ryo, congrats on your 1-year anniversary. My question is, what are the signs when a buyer is trying to scam you? When a buyer is trying to scam you. So I assume, so in this case, you are the seller and the buyer is trying to scam you. Well, the first thing is, you know, if you're doing it over eBay, you're doing it over Troll and Toad, you're doing it over TCG Player, you have a lot of assurance there, right? Because they're either going to need to pay up front, even if they do like a payment plan, which a lot of sites offer, even if they do a payment plan, you know, that's going to fall on the medium in which you're selling. Okay. Now, if you're selling in person, this is where you can potentially get scammed. Okay. You just want to, there's usually some telltale signs. Okay. One is, have you ever seen this person, you know, around in the community? Let's say they're connecting through Instagram or through Facebook or anything like that. Have they contacted you before? Have you seen them somewhere else in the community, or is this just some random, you know, person just from the clear blue? That could be a telltale sign. If you're selling over Facebook Marketplace, you know, medium like that, you know, I actually made a video on this a long time ago. You know, meet at a neutral location, a Starbucks, meet at, you know, somewhere like that where there's other people around, so that, you know, if it is shady, that there's, you know, you're not alone in a dark parking lot somewhere, something like that. That would be, you know, and that's what I've done. Shoot, going back, you know, early on, that's where a lot of my transactions were. A lot of my dealings, a lot of the investments and the flips that I had were in person. And so I learned through trial and error, started to pick out some of those things. But it definitely is better now that we do have these various mediums. I mean, even on my website, you're not going to buy anything unless the payment processes. You know what I mean? So it mitigates a lot of that risk for you. So hopefully that's answered your question. Okay. Try to hit all of these questions here. Kyle Roberts, when is the next box break? So I've got a box coming in. Should be here probably mid next week. So I should be announcing box break, and I'm hoping to get it for the end of the month, maybe around the 28th. So keep an eye out. So any of you, if you haven't already, well, obviously subscribe to the channel. I would certainly appreciate that. But on my website, you can also subscribe to the newsletter there, and that's usually where I put out the first notice of upcoming box breaks. And what I can tell you, I'm not going to give away a whole lot here, but what I can tell you, you guys can basically figure this out on your own, is this particular set, is almost 10 years old. Almost 10 years old. So I'll let you figure out which one that might be. But yeah, coming up hopefully very soon. Looking at probably the end of the month. JW Media. I'm going to answer your question, and we're going to jump into another pack here. I think we'll jump into a Jet Black Spirit. JW Media, what do you think about other TCGs that are currently exploding, like Dragon Ball Super and Flesh and Blood? It's a huge time for TCGs right now. Huge time. And I think a lot of that has come from the pandemic, and a lot of it has come from the popularity of Pokemon, the prices that we've seen with Pokemon. It's really trickled over into other TCGs. People are like, well, you know what? Pokemon is a lot of fun, but maybe I should explore Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Super. I really liked Dragon Ball Z as a kid. Let me check out the Dragon Ball Super card game as well. Flesh and Blood, same thing. People just starting to have, it's almost like a renaissance of TCGs, in my opinion, right now. Much in the same manner like we saw a renaissance of Pokemon in 2016. I think now we're kind of going through a renaissance of TCGs, and people are just wanting to see what else is out there. To me, it's the whole reason that MetaZoo was even created, because they saw all of the things that made Pokemon successful, or some of these other TCGs successful, and they try to combine it into one, which I have my own opinions on MetaZoo, but I think that's really what they tried to do, and it really happened during the right time. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into another pack here. We will get into a Jet Black Spirit. We'll see if I have the real test. The real test is always if you can get the pack open, PokéNav. Let's see. Man, I tell you what, guys. We definitely cannot do a full booster box opening of Japanese, at least maybe newer sets, because it would take 2 hours to get through a whole booster box. All right, let's see here. I know I'm gonna catch flack for that. Probably the only PokeTuber you see opening packs with their mouth. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Shiftry, Love Disc, C-Dot. We got a single strike. Oh man, just a regular trainer on that one. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's jump into some more questions here. Actually, first thing I gotta do, I gotta get hydrated here. All right. Basic Trainer, I don't believe in the junk slab era, as 70% will be modern cards. There many new collectors just made aware. I believe all these cards can be absorbed with the exception of modern thoughts. Yeah, you know, I haven't taken a whole lot of stake into the whole junk slab as well. Again, guys, a lot of this boils down to how absorbable a lot of this stuff is by the market. Now, keep this in mind. What may not be in demand right now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, may very well be in demand. So people may be picking up these quote-unquote junk slabs or these junk cards right now at a discount that may sometime in the future be very valuable. You can never count out any of these products. I mean, remember when I was, I mean, guys, I was picking up, this is a crazy thing. This is a crazy thing. And I know we just talked about it, and we talked about the retrace, but I was picking up Evolutions booster boxes back in around this time, around the time that I started on YouTube. I was picking up Evolutions booster boxes for like $80, $85 a booster box all day long. Now look where they've gone. You can never count out certain products. Full art trainer cards. Who would have thought that full art trainer cards would have grown to the heights that they've become? Maybe some of that's due to, influence by influencers, but that's markets. That's markets. There's always outside influences that change the landscape of the market. So, yeah, I don't think that there may be some cards that just never, or some slabs that never appreciate. But you really can't count out any particular card or any particular era or any particular set, in my opinion, because you don't know what the future is going to hold for that. You've got a whole new generation of collectors that'll be coming up that will have different tastes, and we've seen that. We've seen tastes and preferences change over time, and people just have to accept that. They have to accept the changing tide. Kyle Roberts, do you think Battle Styles flopped with the 25th anniversary set coming in the fall? I personally will hold out a bit on Chilling Reign. Do you think others will do the same? It's tough to say. Again, I don't know where Pokemon is going to be by that time. Maybe they've got their factories up and running. Maybe they've got more people back to work. Maybe they've got more printing capacity by that time, and there'll be plenty of, there'll be just as much, there'll be as much 25th anniversary set as there was Evolutions. You know, it could very well be that way. So I don't know what it's going to be. To me, if you're interested in a set, why pass up on it? That doesn't mean that you have to go all in and you have to drop your whole life savings on a particular set. Have fun with it, you know, and if you want to invest in it, invest what you can. Just invest with what you can. Now, if that is very allocated, if your budget is small, and maybe you're saying to yourself, okay, I have to choose between Eevee Heroes, Chilling Reign, and the 25th anniversary, then that's understandable. Then totally understandable. And you really have to look at, okay, which one probably has, from an investing perspective, which one probably has the better potential, the better long-term potential. If you were to stack that up, I would say that definitely Eevee Heroes would outweigh Chilling Reign. From what I am hearing from other sources, the 25th anniversary would trump Eevee Heroes. But I'm not, again, don't put any credence on that. Don't put any stake in that. So you really just have to kind of weigh it for yourself. But if you can, if you've got the funds to enjoy all three, then I would say enjoy all three. But if not, weigh the costs, weigh the benefits to each of them. Collecting with Jules. What is up, my friend? Thanks for joining in, buddy. Jules has been probably my dearest friend. No, definitely my dearest friend that I've made since starting this channel, and we have become such good friends. And that talking about the things that are on the horizon, one of my big goals is to actually see Jules in person. I know that Canada and the U.S. quite vastly different right now with everything, but that is definitely on the bucket list, is to hang out with my boy Jules in person and eat some waffles with some authentic Canadian maple syrup. That's definitely right up there with everything. What's up, Jules? All right, let's see. Gregory Sloan, what are your thoughts on inflation in Pokemon and the economy in general? I mean, yeah, it's obvious that we're seeing it right now. I'm in the process of buying another home right now, and from the beginning, when I was first bidding on homes compared to now, just the costs associated with housing is just astronomical. I mean, the price of lumber is what, tripled, quadrupled over the last year. We're seeing it across the board, guys. The prices on, it seems like everything. I mean, look at gas right now across the country. Any of you that are joining outside of the U.S., I'm sure it's a very similar situation for you guys as well. It's just been tough. It's really, prices have increased across the board, not just Pokemon. Pokemon is a small little microcosm of this more vast economic period of time that we're going through right now. So my thoughts on it, how do they amend that? How do they rectify that? It's tough to say, really tough to say. There's a lot of different theories out there as to what they could do. Like, some say more taxation, some say we've given out too much money. I've been saying from the beginning, the more money we give out, the more that has to be brought back, that has to be collected in the end. So yeah, in a nutshell, it's across the board, and how that and when that rectifies itself, that's really to be seen. Echo Base Collectibles, what is going on, my friend? Welcome in. If Walmart and Target stop selling Pokemon, that could mean more product for small stores. What do you think? Yeah, for sure. I think that, and to me, it's great. You know, I mean, it won't last. Like I said, it won't last. As soon as things start to go back to normal, Target, Walmart, all those big box stores, they'll start carrying it again. But maybe that'll encourage more people to support their local card game shop. Maybe that'll help for everybody to be able to maybe bring down some of their prices because they're given more product, because not so much of it is being allocated to these bigger stores. So that could very well help as well. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, Cardboard Empires, have a good night, my friend. Go take care of the family. All right, let's see. Trying to make sure I get to everybody's question here. Blast Boost 86. Where do you see the first edition Wizard of the Coast sets in about 10 years if you were to hold sealed booster boxes? Oh man, that's a thing. I mean, sealed product, guys, especially going that far back. I mean, we're getting to a point now where it's becoming an antique. I mean, we're really getting close to that point where some of these products could be considered antiques, especially in the next 10 years. Man, it's first edition base set booster box, 10 years, I'm sure over $1 million, well over $1 million, just because they're going to be so scarce. And those people out there that are saying I'll never open it, well, guess what? They're probably going to open it, or they're going to sell it to somebody that's going to open it. So that supply is just going to be going down and down and down. Sealed products, I think, is always a good option. It's going to be a safe option. And honestly, some of the safest options is modern sealed booster boxes is probably one of the safest investments, in my opinion, that you can get into, especially if you're getting it right when it comes out. You're getting it basically at the bottom of the market. Let me tell you guys, it's rarely going to drop below that, and especially if you're picking it up close to wholesale price, it's not going to fall below that. Even, going back, there's very few sets that actually fell below that, $90, $95 wholesale price on booster boxes. So you've got a very, very safe investment there, and one that, again, it'll just diminish. More people will open it, that supply goes down, demand will continue to go up. So yeah, I think those are probably the most conservative investment that you can get into. Let's see. Basic Trainer. With all the new attention and momentum Pokemon has garnered and new PokeTubers and social media influencers in the hobby, do you foresee another lull down the road like in the 2000s? I certainly do. I certainly do. If you guys watch my video from Tuesday, I didn't specifically talk about it in the video, but if you look in the thumbnail, there was there's this timeline, right, going from 2016 to 2021, and I tried to put images for each of those years that I remembered, like little pivotal things. 2016, huge year for Pokemon, big year, the Renaissance. Guess what happened in 2017? That popularity went back down. Pokemon Go, popularity of that went back down. The popularity of the TCG went back down. So we could honestly see something very similar in 2022. And as people are starting to come out of the pandemic, people are traveling, spending more money on things that they used to. People get through the 25th anniversary. You kind of see that. After each anniversary, you start to see a peak and then a decline, a peak and then a decline about every 5 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it again, just as people start to lose interest. That people always gravitate to hype. People always gravitate to the big popular topics, the big things that are coming out that are in their face. But after a while, it starts to get old, right? It starts to get old, and people that maybe haven't been in this for a long time, people that aren't as passionate about it, it's only understandable that they'll find something else. And we could very well see that, maybe even as early as next year. So good question, though. Really good question. Leo B, what's a good annual rate of return, or what kind of increases do you aim for? I'm sure it varies greatly. Let's say I have a $10,000 total Pokemon portfolio. What's reasonable to expect? Well, let's put it into perspective. So over the last 20 years, I believe, the S&P 500 has returned on average about 8%. Okay, 8%. So even if you were using that as your barometer for success, and within the the financial realm, within the stock market, keeping pace with the S&P 500 is what a lot of people try to do. You have active investing, people who try to outpace or beat the market, and you have passive investors, those that just try to keep pace with the market. Well, we've shown time and time again, over the long term, it's the passive investors that are just trying to track the S&P, trying to track a benchmark, that actually do better in the long run. So here, when I started in Pokemon, that's really what I was trying to get. If I could get an annual rate of return of around 8%, like the stock market, I was happy with that. Now, obviously, there's a lot of Pokemon products out there. Pretty much anything out there has had far beyond an 8% annual return or year-over-year return. So really, you just have to kind of look at what are your goals, right? That's what it really all boils down to. It's not so much about returns. What is your short-term goals? What are your 3, 5, 7-year goals? What are your long-term goals, 10 plus years? With that return, are you looking to reinvest back into other products? Are you looking to, basically take that and use it for other things outside of Pokemon, extraneous things? That will kind of determine what type of products you're looking to get into. I also have made a video on the how to balance risk versus reward in the Pokemon market. You guys can go check that out. And I basically laid out everything on a whole risk tolerance spectrum from conservative to aggressive. Everything where every type of Pokemon investor would lie in products that I felt fit within those various categories. And based upon that, based upon where you lie in that, like I was telling you, conservative investment, sealed, ultra modern booster boxes. Now, those can have really good returns. Sometimes they may not, right? So it's going to maybe fluctuate a little bit, but it's also very safe. You're really not going to lose out on investing in ultra modern booster boxes right when they come out, because they're rarely going to fall below that initial price point. As you go up that you can start looking at Wizards of the Coast holos, or even ultra modern graded cards. Those can fluctuate wildly. and they can go really high, but they can come crashing back down. So it's really all about what amount of risk are you willing to take on for that added return. Now, if you say to yourself, I'm more of like maybe moderately aggressive, and I'm looking more for growth in my portfolio. I'm looking to exceed, or I'm looking to beat the market. Then you invest in those type of products accordingly. If you're not willing to take on that risk, then you move down that spectrum and you invest in those type of products. It's the same thing that we do in the financial markets. And a lot of that is dependent upon, at least in that realm, the age of or the demographic of the client that we're working with. It's the same thing here, guys. We all have different tastes. We all have different risk tolerances. We all have a certain amount of stake that we want to put into this particular market. So that would be the best place to start. Jacob Garan, go ahead and put in your question one more time, my friend, and I will make sure to get to it. I don't remember it in particular, but put it in again and I will certainly get to it. Bradley Bryan, do you think the Pokemon Company will raise prices due to inflation demand or otherwise? They're already going to. Rocky's already told me that Chilling Reign is going to be more expensive, and that's coming from the top down. So from Pokemon to the distributors to the card stores, third-party dealers, prices are going to go up. Basically, like I said, from the top down. Empire of Nostalgia. Do you think you can collect and have a Pokemon business? I am finding it hard to let go of some cards. That was actually one of the lessons that I talked about in Tuesday's video, is the difference, understanding one of the big lessons that I've learned is the difference between collecting, investing, and a business. And I think I still struggle with this to this day, guys. I still struggle with this. But what has been a saving grace for me is having an outline, having a blueprint as to what I want to achieve. So I have really come to the understanding that I really don't want a huge collection. I really don't. I don't want a huge collection. I am okay with collecting maybe more higher end types of products, sealed products. I love Mewtwo, so I like getting some Mewtwo cards as well. My top favorite Pokemon, kind of focusing on that. And I've realized that. But in the beginning, I didn't. In the beginning, I wanted to collect everything, right? And that made it difficult to either sell products or invest in products that I knew I was going to sell at a later time in the future. So really putting that blueprint together, understanding, okay, this is actually what I want for my collection, and then delineating that between that and your investments and products that you're selling as part of your business. I think having that clear-cut blueprint ahead of time will really help you out in the long run. Brendan Hansen, how important is competitive meta utility of a card in your evaluation of it as an investment? Pretty new to the space. Thanks for the stream. This is something that I didn't always include in like my overall analysis of particular cards or sets, but after talking with Omnipoke, who is not only is he a world-class player, but he's also a judge as well for the Pokemon TCG, started to learn that this is also a pivotal aspect of your analysis of a set or a particular card, because what may seem like a benign card, like that may never have potential, very well could for the competitive players, and they may look back on that with the same kind of nostalgia that collectors do, based upon the fact that they use that in a deck, that those cards were used in maybe the world champion decks, or people the world-class players decks 5-10 years down the line. So I think it is a very important aspect, and one that I think a lot of us look over, and I know I did for years, and only recently have really started to look more into what cards are really on the radar of competitive players, and really starting to understand more of that whole arena and how that really can be included in your overall analysis and in your overall portfolio. So really, really good question. I really appreciate that. Hey, Adabo, really appreciate that, my friend. Really appreciate you stopping in and joining in with us tonight. I'm glad that you're liking the content. Feel free to go back and check out any of the other videos. I think now we're over at least 150 videos on the channel, so there should be plenty there for you. If you like what you're seeing now, there should be plenty there. All right, guys, before we jump into any other questions, let me go ahead and we will jump into our last pack here, Silver Lance. Let's see if your boy PokéNav can have any better luck with opening this thing up. I tell you, it's just gonna be a running joke here. Wow, I'm not even gonna mess with it. There we go. All right, here we go, guys. Wish us the best of luck. Oop, one from the back. There we go. Is that Rose? Kind of looks like Chairman Rose. All right, here we go. Pretty cool artwork on these cards too. Really, really liking it. And obviously with the Japanese cards, really good right off the print line. Oh, single strike. Dang. All right, well, that's okay. Always fun nonetheless. All right, guys, let's jump into a couple more questions here, and then we will go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Again, I just want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. One, for being here tonight, for showing your support, but also for showing your support over this last year, continuing to come back each and every week, watch videos, reach out to me. It just means the world. It means the world. I mean, these videos that I put out, the content that I put out, it's kind of like your baby, right? It's a part of you. You put yourself out there, it's a part of you. And when you get the good feedback and you see that there's a community that is rallying around you, it means the world. So again, thank you guys all so much. All right. If people asking about the purveyors, Jules, I don't know, man. That might be something that has to be on the radar at some point. Is maybe putting that back together again, getting the purveyors back up and running. I know Jules has been busy too. Jules has some content that he's got in the works, guys, that's going to be coming out soon that I think you guys are really going to like. And if you haven't done so already, if you're watching here and you haven't subscribed to my boy Collecting with Jules, make sure that you do so. Make sure that you do so. Jules is a great friend of mine, and we've shared a lot of fun experiences over this last year, all virtually, obviously, because he lives in Canada. But he's been such a good friend, such a supportive friend along the way, and just a great guy and a great member of this community. So show him your support. Go on over, subscribe to his channel, and tell him that your boy PokéNav sent you. Ryo, collecting mint vintage cards and grade them or make a master set of a vintage set in random conditions. Man, I actually get this question a lot. To me, I think that master sets, regardless of condition, is something that collectors would really want to have, right? Like, especially people out there who are completionists really want to have a master set, and especially if it's not in gem mint condition and it's a little bit more affordable for them, because it's always going to be more affordable, right? It's always going to be more affordable to actually just buy the master set versus buying raw cards, having them graded, all of these different things. It's always going to be cheaper to buy the master set. So I don't know, and you don't see many master sets out there, right? I mean, at least I don't. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a whole lot of master sets on the open market. So that might be the better way to go, man, because like I said, I don't see much of it out there. Completionists out there are going to want that, and it's going to be cheaper for them in the end anyways. Even if you're marking it up, even if you're marking it up as a premium versus what you would sell those individual cards for, outside of the set, it's still going to be cheaper for them. All right, Basic Trainer, what is the best way to sell a 6-figure collection involving vintage slabs and loose packs and Wizards of the Coast boxes as a lot? Wow. Well, I've never had a 6-figure. Well, I'm sorry. I'm thinking more than that. No, I am thinking that much. 6-figure collection. Wow. So to sell that, I mean, the best way, I mean, you can always go through eBay, but the fees on eBay is going to take that 6-figure collection down pretty significantly. To be honest with you, man, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I mean, the way that I have done it in the past, like when I've brokered certain deals, now I've never brokered or consigned a 6-figure collection or product before. But your best option is probably to list that. I would list it on various different sites just to start garnering attention. Okay, don't accept any of the offers, just to start garnering attention around your entire collection. Okay, or whatever that's going to be in this lot. Start garnering attention around it. Start promoting it as well. If this is something you're wanting to sell as a lot, start promoting this on all of the various social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Start building some attention around it. And then I think just by natural osmosis, really, people will then start to reach out to you. And you'll start to figure out like people who are actually interested, because you very rarely do you see things like that sold over site like eBay or something like that. It's usually in private transactions, and that's how I've done them in the past as well. They're private transactions. They were all done by wire transfers, bank transfers. There was contracts written up with the seller ahead of time. So it's once you start getting into that realm, there's more involved. But the best thing I would say is start to garner some attention. So hopefully that helps. Monstrous Pockets, what is going on, my friend? Mighty Sponge has been completing master sets since XY Primal Clash. That's awesome. Yeah, it'd be really hard to get rid of them. I know that. All right, guys. I think we have gotten through all of the questions here. We've gotten through all of our packs. That's really what I wanted to get through here tonight. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap on my journey to this 1-year mark. This journey to almost 10,000 subscribers. For any of you that are in the chat, or any of you that are watching the replay, if you haven't done so already, guys, I would certainly appreciate it if you subscribed and joined this community. We're growing every single day, and whether we grow fast, we grow slow, the people that are involved in this community, the people that are subscribed to this channel are really great people. Really great people, and you guys are awesome. I know other content creators say that about their community all the time as well, so I don't want it to seem perfunctory, but I truly mean it. I truly mean it. Like I said, I knew nothing about any of this stuff in YouTube or building a community or any of this, so it still baffles me that almost 10,000 of you appreciate what I'm doing, and because of that, I truly appreciate you, and I want you guys to know that. So yeah, anybody out there that wants to join the Nav Nation, by all means, hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit that like button as well if you enjoyed today's video or any future videos. And other than that, guys, everybody in this live chat, thank you all for being here. Truly appreciate you. Be on the lookout, guys. 1 year down, many more to come. Only good things to come from here, bigger and better things here on out. So just keep an eye out, and I think you'll be happy. You'll be pleasantly surprised with things that I have in store, because I'm always looking to improve above all else. All right, guys, I will stop rambling. That'll do it for today. Again, thank you so much for your support and for your ongoing support in the future. Other than that, guys, I will see you all next time. My name is PokéNav. I'm here to help you navigate the world of Pokemon, one video at a time. and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Nav.